Are you ready for another Rivals of Ixalan draft? Because I am. Let's do this. Alright. Oh, I should probably turn off my music. Though that's a good band, it's Chan. Okay, so what do we have here? This first pack is pretty underwhelming. Not much going on in this that catches my eye. We have the Wayward Swordtooth, which can be decent in the right deck. And that might be the pick. There's really nothing going on in this pack that we're too excited about. Colossal Dreadmaw is a solid pick. Not pack 1, pick 1 level, but what can you do? We have Dust Legion Zealot, Divine Verdict. These are all things that I would consider out of this pack specifically. But I think I'm gonna go for the Wayward Swordtooth. It's rare, does well with fight spells. We can abandon it easily. Let's see what happens in pack 2. All right, yet another pretty weak pack. Thunderherd Migration might be good if we go like a big dinosaur route. Lets us kind of ramp a little bit. We can get double ramp going with Wayward Swordtooth and Thunderherd Migration, so we can build like a really large dino deck. We're just not seeing a lot right now. You know, maybe Dust Legion Zealot would have been a better pick one. We could go, you know, kind of speculate on white, black. Thunderherd Migration isn't that great. I think I'm just going to go for a Colossal Dreadmaw here. These two cards are in the same color. They kind of work well together because you can kind of ramp up the Colossal Dreadmaw. Not that Dreadmaw really helps with getting to the city's blessing in any particular way. It's a damned city. But maybe something. Maybe this pack will have something semi-exciting for us. So I think there's 3 cards here in consideration. There's the Temple Altosaur, which is good so far with our other 2 pretty meaty dinos. We have Suncrusted Pterodon, which is just a super solid card in this format. And then Moment of Craving is the best. I think maybe the best standalone card here. But I'm really not too high on black-green. And I think Temple Altosaur, I haven't got to play with this a lot, but I imagine if you play this on a certain board or in a certain deck, it could do some work. So let's see. If I picked up the Zealot first pick, I would have probably picked up a second Zealot or maybe a white card, and I would have been more leaning towards black-white instead of green-white, but I'm okay with where we're at right now. These packs have been super medium. I'm not too excited about any of them thus far. Secrets of the Golden City, I should say. It's good card draw spell, but we're not really leaning that way. Pride of Conquerors is good in the right kind of deck, but we have kind of beefy things array, so we're not looking to plus them. I think we're going to take a very unexciting Divine Verdict here. If we get 3 colors going, you know, the Stampede Horncrest might be good with what we're doing thus far, but let's stick in green-white for now. Okay, so I think white is open, which is good. It's hard to say what the second open color is. It might be blue, because Secrets of the Golden City I think is the strongest card outside of white. But here is interesting because usually dinos do want to splash something. You know, there's a lot of good red cards that feed into a white-green dino deck. And Evolving Wilds has just been pretty solid from when I play with it. So instead of a second Divine Verdict, I'm just going to take that for speculation purposes. Raptor Companion I'm not high on, even though it's a 2-drop. I think we can get something very comparable later on. It's always nice to pick up early fixing. Kind of lets you free up your picks a little bit. You can pick a stronger card over a more sensible card and not feel too bad about it. Alright, so this is interesting. So we have Stormfleet Swashbuckler, which is a pretty good red card coming around fairly late for pick 6. We got another Colossal Dreadmaw. We could just go really big. Second Evolving Wilds for the same reasons I've explained previously. And then a Legion Conquistador, which might be what our deck is looking for. It kind of stuffs up the bottom ground, or the ground. Gives us some card draw in colors where you don't get a lot of card draw. And it can help with get to Ascend. So I think we're going to go for the first Legion here. Yeah, so green's getting cut pretty hard. We can transition into like a white-blue kind of control-y deck, but the problem is this Temple Altusaur is a good card, but only in the context of dinosaurs. It's not great otherwise. So even if we go back to white, we functionally have 2 selections. So I'm sorry, get out of green, go into blue. We functionally have 2. So I'm just gonna take this boring 2-drop. I think I like the Sun Sentinel, but actually, Raptor Companion. Okay, so this late Martyr of Dusk is good. Plummet's a very solid card, but if we open up something outside of green, I would rather not tend towards the green right now since we only have 2 cards. So these are just very not exciting packs. This is the first one we opened, I believe. So we have this this later Sanguine Glorifier, which is good with Vamps, and we have 2 already. 3 if you count the token that's made off of this. But these decks are just really piles of trash, or these packs. I guess I can go for a Cacophodon, do some cool stuff with it. Here I'll take the Pride of Conquerors, even though it's not really what this deck looks like it's trying to do. We could do a Naturalize for the sideboard, but I think we're just going to do Jadecraft Artisan. We have a trample creature. We're going to have potentially lifelink stuff. It's good to boost things like that. This is nothing exciting. I guess I'll take the stupid. Okay, I'll take the mediocre 2-drop. That's not getting in the deck. So that was really unexciting pack 1. We are kind of a color combination that does have good common removal in it, so we can find some, and that's something we need. Right now our only 2 non-creature spells are Divine Verdict and Pride of Conquerors, and Pride of Conquerors in this deck is like meh at best. So I don't know, man. What's up with this Wayward Swordtooth? It looks like he's just busting through something. Is he just lost? I think he's just lost. Good news is we got 3 other dinos to go for with our Temple Altusaur. Okay, so this is a interesting pack. I don't think we want the Forerunner of the Legion, even though we have a couple of vampires to search up. We don't really have a lot of high-powered vampires to search up. There's really nothing in green here. I think we're going to take a Bombard for splashing purposes. I like it way better than Divine Verdict. I'm willing to splash for it. It's definitely not the strongest collection of cards I've ever had going into pack 2, but you know, maybe we can turn this thing around, get the Primal Elder, or Primal Calamity. Sakama? I always forget if it's Samaka or Sakama. Okay, so this pack's a little better for us. I think the choice here is going to definitely be Hunt the Weak. We can get Colossal Dreadmaw in, you know, that can wheel or come back in a different pack. Imperial Ceratops could be pretty okay, but I think Hunt the Weak is solid. Oh, okay. Here's a nice payoff for our colors. Actually, 2 nice payoffs, but there's one of these 2 white-green cards that's significantly better, even though it's the uncommon. I think it's the Atsuken Seer. It can ramp us to some of our bigger cost creatures. It can buy back a dino if we need to. I like that card a lot. Okay, so World Shaper is pretty lame. Hardy Veteran's a decent 2-drop. It's better for attacking than blocking, and I don't know if we're going to be the aggressive deck in any situation here. We could pick up a Plummet for the sideboard, which might be a good idea since usually these types of decks are kind of weak to flyers. Or we can go with the Overgrown Aerosaur. I think I'm just going to go with the Plummet here. I've seen enough flyers in this format to where I want that access to that card. So we can get a second Legion Conquistador. We can get a Thunderherd Migration, which helps us splash for Bombard. I think we're going to do the Thunderherd, and then we can really like lean into getting some high cost things. So this is another, I can't believe this Golden Demise is going so late. Is no one in black? That is strange. This is a good pack for us. We got Squire's Devotion, Knight of the Stampede, and Colossal Dreadmaw. So we have a decent amount of ramp. So I don't know if we should value the Knight of the Stampede over something like Colossal Dreadmaw at the moment. I don't think we want 2-drops. The Squire's Devotion would be good, but I think just getting some beefy... Actually, Squire's Devotion might be the pick here. We have a lot of pretty high power cards already. It can help us get to Ascend. I'm going to go with the Squires. Okay, so second Legion Conquistador or Snubhorn Sentry. I like Legion Conquistador for the reasons I explained before about, you know, kind of slowing down the game early on to get our bigger stuff out. It also goes well with Pride of Conquerors. So I think I'm going to go with that over Stubhorn. Though Stubhorn can be solid. We already got that Plummet, so we don't need that one. Okay, I think this is an easy pick for us. Yes, we have a couple Legion Conquistadors, so the Vamps cards are decent, but the Suncrested Pterodon is Dino, and it's in our colors, and we can ramp to it pretty well. Path of Metal is not for this deck. It's a ridiculous card, but, you know, to each their own. Might just take a second Divine Verdict here. It's not too exciting. Maybe I want the Traveler's Amulet so I can get the Bombard. I think just having a card that brings us to Bombard is better than having our second Divine Verdict. Plus, we can always pick up on that red card. Now we got Naturalize for the sideboard, which I'm happy with. I'll take a second Jadecraft Artisan. I really don't like the Oraska throwback. The 2 power, or the 2 toughness is just it trades for too many things in this format. So it's only decent if you can like push it through somehow. And we don't really have a lot of ways to do that other than one-off like removal to clear the way or something. So I'm really looking for some big dino payoff in the last pack. That'd be great. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. We're about 2/3 of the way through pack 2 here, and our deck is looking mediocre-ish. It has like power in the top end, but I don't know. I mean, I think we just need to... Okay, I'll take this Hardy Veteran. It's a good pickup. It's just gonna be I don't think pushing through. What are we gonna lose to? Let's think about this. What is this deck super weak to? I think it's weak to a good value deck where they just have strong removal, they have some card draw, and then medium-sized creatures. So they're going to use all the removal on our big things and then just kind of outpace us with their medium creatures. A hyper-aggressive deck might be an issue. We have a decent amount of 2-drops. We have some removal. I guess we really can't play it too early. So a hyper-aggressive deck might also, kind of like a blue-red evasive aggro deck, probably be a problem for us. I could foresee a Squire's Devotion being really important against a deck like that because it can kind of bring us back from the brink if we're just slapping on one of our big guys if they try to go wide or just try to start trading. Then we could do like a pretty large life swing. Let's see what we got here. Nothing good. Man, we've just been opening nothing great. We haven't even been seeing that many great cards. The thing I remember the most that I saw that kind of surprised me was Golden Demise. That was kind of late. But I mean, even if we like kind of jumped into black or we're black, I haven't seen that many other black cards around. So the pick here is unfortunately going to be either Crash the Ramparts or Vampire Zeal, I think. I don't think Looming Altusor does anything for us that these cards aren't already doing. I'm going to go for the cheap Vampire Zeal. It kind of works for what we were talking about earlier. Oh, okay. Here's a good... Okay, this is a good dino. This Ripjaw Raptor is really solid. Can draw us a card. It works well with this Temple Altusor. We could buy it back with the Atsukin Seer. We got Hunt the Weak for it. That was a good pickup. Oh, he took us 3 packs to get a pretty solid card in Carlos. Someone else took the other green-white rare 2/2 dino with Enrage. Give 2 counters on it, which is interesting. I wonder if we're getting cut by a player that's in, or maybe they just, you know, it was one of the last few cards and they just said, screw it. This is a tough pick. So this deck is kind of weak to flyers, and Atsukin Archer is the card you kind of want for that. But this Colossal Dreadmaw could do some work in this deck. So it's a matter of like kind of, because if we're against flyers, the only answers we really have are a couple of removal and then racing. So I think we could go with this. There's a lot of X1s in this format. This thing seems to perform well. If I desperately need to draw a card, I can always pick my Ripjaw Raptor. This is an easy Drover of the Mighty. That's a great card. Ramp, it fixes. It's going to be a 3/3 a lot of the time in our deck. If not, yeah, I'm going to just say a lot of the time. We actually don't have too many dinosaurs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a decent amount, but not the most. Not the most dinosaurs I've ever seen. I wonder if someone has made a pure dino deck with like 16, 17 dinosaurs as their creatures. It's probably likely to have happened. We have these stupid merfolk in here ruining everything. Same with these humans. Vampires. And we got a lot of crap going on in this. I'm surprised they haven't given like some human boost in this set. I know there's not like a ton of like specific human cards, but I mean, without even trying, we have 5 humans here. And I feel like, you know, well, I guess it kind of muddles the pirate thing. It's weird that pirates take precedence over the human classification. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Again, we have a second Atsukin Archer, and then we have a Kinjali's Caller. I think we have enough ramp to not really need this Caller, so I'm going to take the second Archer. I think it could do some work for us. We could do some sick combo where we drop it, hit the Cacophodon, and then untap something. Isn't that such a payoff? I don't know if I'm even going to use this Traveler's Amulet. Hey, the 7. Thanks for joining. Let's see. I have to play some of this draft for my new player points. Some tips for me. Yeah. So this is actually, this pack is also kind of garbage for us. I'm just going to go for this Paladin. So this set is pretty fun. So I don't know if you know anything about, you know, Ixalan before Rivals of Ixalan, but Ixalan was like super aggressive and wasn't very fun. It felt like whoever played first won the vast majority of the games. This has slowed down a lot, and there's definitely some archetypes that I think are stronger than others. Dinosaurs are really good. I think the red-green dinosaur deck is actually better than like a green-white one like we're seeing here. I'm going to go for this Colossal Dreadmaw. Ooh, Pounce is good for us. So is Crushing Canopy, but Pounce is a little more versatile. So there's like red-green Dinosaurs, which is really strong. I'll take this Crash for Rampart for the sideboard. There's white-black Vampires is a very strong deck if it comes together. Blue-green Merfolk used to be really good in Ixalan, but now it's kind of mediocre because most of the big payoffs are in the Ixalan pack, and you only get one of those. So you can't really speculate on building this great Merfolk deck to open pack 3 and not really have a lot going on. There's a lot of removal floating around in all of the colors. Even blue has like kind of a paralyze or restless paralyzing sleep or whatever the hell. It taps a thing, it doesn't untap, and that's kind of rare for even blue to have a removal like that. There's a lot of bounce, there's a lot of auras. So I think what I have found to be really successful in this deck is to either draft one of two ways. One would be, I'm going to take this Pterodon. I like it better than the Jadecraft Artisan. We have enough dinos to make it fly. But one way for me is just kind of like a value. There's cards that you can play defensively early on, get a lot of value, and then just outpace your opponent with like kind of 2-for-1 cards. Yeah, I think removal still is pretty high priority to pick at this point. The thing about this set is there's a lot of good commons and stuff, but there are some broken rares. And so some of the ones that come to mind, there's a Rekindling Phoenix, which is just a complete, it's like a 4/3 flyer that basically never dies unless you have to use like at least 2 cards for it, because you have to like kill it and then exile this thing to kill it and then kill this like token it creates to make sure it doesn't come back. And then there's this like Elder Dinosaur Tetzelmach in black that just lets you basically mark things for death, and then when it comes into the battlefield, it just blows up your whole enemy's stack. So I'm gonna get back to building this deck, but I'll we'll see some decks while we play through this, and I'll point out some things. So what we got going on here is a very mediocre deck, unfortunately. We got some pickup. The third pack was pretty good for us. We got Riftjaw Raptor. We got a couple of Colossal Dreadmaws in there. We got Atkin Archers, and we got a Pounce, which I think is good. So I'm gonna cut this Pride of Conquerors. We're not really trying to go wide. I'm gonna cut the Traveler's Amulet because we have Evolving Wilds, we have Atkin Seer, and we have Drover of the Mighty. And I feel like that's enough to get us to Bombard, plus the Mountain we'll be putting in. I definitely want all of these cards in our deck. Oh, we also have Thunderherd Migration, which I think I'm going to play since we have a lot of big things to ramp to. Vampire Seer is usually pretty good, but that's might be on the chopping block. I think these things are stronger for what we're trying to do. We don't have too many vamps. I don't think we made it there with the Legion Conquistadors. 2 isn't quite enough, so I'm going to cut those. Yeah, paying MTGO can get pretty expensive. If you string together a nice like win streak, it feels good, but then you find yourself, if you just won with a pretty good like collective deck, you're not necessarily gonna get tickets out of it. So unless you have a big ticket pool, you still have to like get tickets, buy a couple to like go into a new draft. It's just it's a money maker for them, but it's so damn addicting. They can take all my money. Okay, so we're at 26 cards right here. I want to play 17 lands, so we gotta cut 3 more. I'm pretty happy with our non-creature spells at the moment. I don't think Cacophodon is doing anything for us in this deck. We're not looking to untap anything. We have decent blockers. I don't know if 3 Colossal Dreadmaws is considered greedy. It might be. I think I'm gonna cut 1, leave 2, and then if it doesn't seem too greedy, I can put it in from the sideboard. But I don't want to really start with that. This Wayward Sawtooth is I think will be pretty good. Under some situations, it is a complete blank. It is a huge body for Pounce and Hunt the Weak, which is always solid. And once we get going, it's another Squire's Devotion target. I think I'm gonna just cut. We got 24 right now. We need to cut one more thing, and it's gonna be either Raptor Companion or Sun Sentinel. I think I'm gonna go for Raptor's Companion. It's a little more fragile, but the thing is, Sun Sentinel is I'm gonna use it as a blocker most of the time, just to hold back early drops, because we're not trying to get in early here. And so Sun Sentinel can trade for only things with 2 toughness. But everything that's going to be attacking is going to have more than 1 power anyway. So these things are going to be both equally bad defenders against like a 2-1. So I'd rather have this just in case they have something X3 on the board to block. It is a little more fragile, but if they want to use like a spell to remove it, that's fine. So I think this is what we're going with here. Let's combine these, look at our mana, or look at our colors here. Let's see what this suggests. I assume it's going to be something like 10 green, 5 white, and a red, or something like that. Okay, so we were close. It was like 9 green, 6 white, and a red. So with 9 green, this counts as 10. I think I'm good with that. 10, and then we have 7 white, and then we have 2 mountains, plus we have a few cards here that help us ramp and fix. So I think this is what we're gonna run. Let's sort this by converted mana cost. Let's take a snip of this for reference when games get complicated and I can't remember everything we've done in this mediocre deck. The game plan here is to hold back early attacks, make sure we don't die to super aggressive things. These Atsukan Archers are really good pickups for us. I think that's where we are most weak, is blocking flyers. And then we're just going to start churning out big creatures and pushing with them. I think that's how we win this game. So let's see how this goes. But yeah. So 7L. Back to what I was saying. Oh. What unsaved changes I have. I don't know. There we go. Okay. Back to what I was saying before. Removal is the plenty in this. So you don't want to generally put all your eggs in one basket on certain cards. Like I mentioned, there's some good R's out there. But there's also a lot of bounce spells, and there's enchantment removal plenty. But assuming you don't open one of the huge bombs of the set, what has worked best for me is basically I think every color has its strength, so finding the open color is pretty important. If you get cut pretty bad from your colors, I mean, obviously that's bad in every draft, but there's not a lot of people fighting for the same colors necessarily, because every color has a strength, and even within colors, there's kind of like 2 things going on. Like in green, there's merfolk and dinos, so you can have 2 people in green, and it won't necessarily be the end of the world. So I think it's really important to read the draft in this format, and it's nice because you have time to read the draft because there are a lot of options. There's not really like a really bad or underpowered color, if you ask me. So I think you just have to kind of pay attention when you're drafting to see what's open. I'm going to keep this and. We don't have white, but we have Drover of the Mighty, and then we can always search one up with this. So we can ramp to Colossal Dreadmaw relatively fast. Just trying to think what the play might be for turn 2. Let's see what we draw. Okay, so we draw this. So turn 2. If we play Drover of the Mighty, we can pump out Thunderherd Migration and Martyr of Death next turn, so I think that's the play. If they have like a Moment of Craving, that's going to be unfortunate, but this thing's going to be a 1/1 anyway for the foreseeable future until we get a Dino. So red-black is a good color combination. That's not the best card there in the color combination, but looks like something to do here. I don't really need to show that we have mountain. So I'm just gonna, I am going to reveal Dino from my hand just so we can double spell here. I'm gonna go search up we have 3 green, we have a mountain. I'm just gonna get plains. We play that, and then we can Martyr of Dusk here. And I'll happily trade this Martyr of Dusk for their 2/2 if they attack, or attempt to trade it. We can pump out a Colossal Dreadmaw on turn 4, which is pretty nasty. We're going to have a 3/3, a 6/6 trample. They know it's coming, so that's unfortunate. You know, they can kind of play around to make sure they have like a removal up and ready. They have one more. They have something like Hunt the Weak, where they could have the pacifism in white. So I'm gonna get out the Colossal Dreadmaw. This is a good draw for this card. So if they do damage to themselves, that'll be unfortunate, because then they will have +1/+1 counter on this. That's why I'm not attacking with this. I mean, it's likely they would just go through, and then this would get a little bigger, and I don't want that to happen. So this is a pretty strong threat. It'll be unfortunate if they have an answer to this, but they'll probably have to tap out most of their mana to do it. So this plan will go out this will go off without a hitch, at least, if that happens. But it doesn't look like it's happening. Yeah, if they had removal, they would play it for this, I think, this turn, because if they had Divine Verdict, I think they would have left it up. We would have not attacked into an open 4 land with white up because of the instant kill attacking or blocking creature. Okay, so this is a really good card. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to, at the beginning of each upkeep, so we can attack here. They might try to triple block, and if they have a trick, we can blow them out with Pounce. We could really put on the pressure. I can Atsukan Archer this thing to death, and then we can attack with basically everything. If they double block here, I can Pounce one of them, and then kind of keep my Drover. It would empty my hand, but then we'd be up to 4 cards on board against their 5 black mana. So I think I'm going to do that. And we're going to fight this Paladin of Atonement. Worst comes worst, they play a Skullduggery. It's the only thing I can think of. This way they only gain 1 life. Okay, so they got something here. Moment of Craving. Oh, okay. They're just sacking it to draw cards. That's fine. I'm not worried about their cards in hand too much. I mean, it'll suck. I'm just gonna swipe with everything. It'll suck if they found removal for this that they didn't have. But, you know, what can you do? That's fine here. Okay, so we're going to be... Okay, yeah. So having 4 things on board and 2 of them being pretty decent threats, that's tough for them to come back from. We only saw really pretty mediocre stuff. I don't think I'm inclined to really change anything. A Colossal Dreadmaw that early is pretty... That's pretty hard to do. And I think that, you know, obviously helped us a lot there. If they had removal, though, that turn, that game could have easily gone their way. They had card advantage. They were drawing more cards. We would have run out of gas on the ground. I don't know about this hand. And we do have a 2-drop. We have 2 colors. Our 3-drop is useless, though. we have to draw like excess land for it, and we're not going to be able to do much with the extra land ability. So if we have a lot of expensive cards, so if we're on the draw and we have a 2 and 5 drop, or a 4 and 5 drop, and I think we could keep. I don't know if that's the right play, but we definitely need some land here. Okay, so that's good to see. I would be okay seeing one more, or maybe like Drover, the Mighty, or something like that. Can't have a blocker for this. That's good. Evolving Wilds isn't bad. So that's actually, we can get this out next turn too with this Wayward Swordtooth, because it just says you can play 2 lands. They don't have to be basic lands or anything, so that's kind of nice. They attack. Obviously, I'm gonna block here. That's fine. I think that's kind of a waste of that card. What are they doing here? Oh, okay. That's weird. They got ahead of themselves. But yeah, so if you go to 7L, if you go to my YouTube channel, I only have a couple of other videos posted, but I'm going to be posting this one. Obviously, you don't need to watch this. And I'm going to be posting one I recorded a couple days ago on there. But I think the decks that are all posted will be pretty varied. And I think we play a lot of the like archetypes in the map in the sets. So if that's like something you're interested in checking out, I think that'd be a good resource. It's just look up Dinosnore on YouTube and it'll be there. I'm gonna play the Evolving Wilds here. That's why we can crack it. I don't think I have any double white spells, so I'm gonna definitely grab a mountain from it, just in case we draw a bombard. Also, if you want to just catch my live drafts that I'm streaming, I put up a schedule today. They won't all necessarily be Magic the Gathering drafts. I like playing PUBG and some other games. But just hit that follow button if you are interested in maybe catching when I do draft more on streams. You'll have a little more interaction that way if you have more questions. But there's a ton of good content out there. There's 2 podcasts I would really recommend. Is Lords of Limited, and then Limited Resources. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, I appreciate that. But those 2 podcasts are great. They're both focused on specifically limited play, mostly drafting. And there's lots of episodes around this set already, so it's good stuff. So that was a pretty sick draw. I think I'm going to just get this card out while I can. I would hate for them to have, like, you know, if I play this. Actually, I think the better play is to play Suncrusted Pterodon. I mean, I would hate for them to have, like, something that gives us plus permanently boosts this. But the only thing I can think of is Squire's Devotion, and it'd be weird to play that on this if I have a 2/5 out. And if they attack, I'm not going to block, and I can leave up Divine Verdict for it. So I think I'm just going to pump this guy out. I suspect this will be a viable target next turn still for the archer here, so I'm not too concerned. This is a strange card. It's not really good against our deck. We don't have a lot of low health creatures. So I don't know if this is going to see much use this game for them. So that's unfortunate. That kind of blinks our Mexican archer. But we can still attack with this thing. They can't really block. And we're going to get another flyer here. We might be able, so we got 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we play Pterodonite, this can attack now. And it has pretty profitable. They would have to double block somewhere, and I'm okay Kind of starting to clear the board here. They can't block this Suncrested Pterodon. It sucks this will lose vigilance if this dies. But they would have to trade off. I would imagine they're going to do the Death Legion Zealot and the Vampire's Revenant if they want to trade off. I don't think they're going to ever triple block with the 3/2/2s. Okay, so take 7 here. Feeling pretty good about this. If we don't draw up action next turn, I'll probably hold on to the Ixalan Archer until it makes sense. Till we can get some useful use out of it. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty anticlimactic. So that was a pretty easy matchup. I don't know if their deck was kind of just wonky or they just, you know, weren't matched up well against us. It didn't seem like they had the strongest of cards in their deck. But it looked like it, you know, it's black-white. It has a lot of potential. Maybe they just didn't draw the removal. Not sure. There weren't a lot of decisions to be made there other than the ones we talked about. So, hey, sometimes it feels easy. But I don't think that's because our deck is busted by any means. We did have a really good draw in the first game. With Drover into Thunderherd Migration into Colossal Dreadmaw by turn 4. So what made you kind of get back into it, 7L? I actually played really early on in my life, like 3rd grade. Why wouldn't, like, I don't know what year that was, like, I don't know, early to mid 90s. I mean, this came out early 90s, so it must have been, you know, after that. But I played for like a couple of years with my older brother and his friends and stuff, and I stopped for a long time, and then I just got back into it. I'm gonna keep this hand. It'd be nice to find white, but we have a really strong 4-drop in our hand. And as long as it isn't hyper aggressive, that's a really good card for us to draw. Yeah, if they play a Raptor Companion or something, that'd be pretty nice. Oh, another red-black. Let's see what we got here. Well, that's not good. That's a scary card. That was a really good draw for us. So we're drawing pretty well. That's all you gotta do for Magic. It sucks that like this combo isn't a thing. I mean, you could basically turn this into draw a card in like desperate situations. But so I'm gonna attack with my Raptor Companion. I don't know if I should hold on to this Ixalan Archer or not. I think I'm just gonna play it. It gives us it'll stop this from attacking most likely. It sucks that we don't really get to ping anything. I am gonna ping this just for fun. And if they want to like boost this to try, oh wait, no, it's not. So the reason I did that is because some people don't know that when you say, yes, I want to attack this, people might say, oh, okay, I'm going to boost this guy to a 4/4, make them fight, and then I'll kill this thing if they really cared. And then priority comes back to me, and I have the option to say, no, never mind, I actually don't want to fight. And then so it just kind of wastes like a pump spell on their end. It's not really the most like, you know, sportsman-like play to try to trick a combat out of them. Yep. Well, that would have been something to hold on to this too, but that's okay. Oh, we couldn't have killed it anyway. So it's gonna it's gonna get +3/+3 when it's attacking, so that's rough. Removal for that would be great. I think I'm just gonna play this Ripjaw Raptor. We can double block, kill this thing, get our Raptor Companion back, but that's assuming they don't have any tricks up their sleeve. Yep, that's kind of like the best card against this. Now they're gonna swing with this thing. It's gonna be a 5/5. I'm gonna block this I mean, they could have Skullduggery. Oh, I see what they're doing. Well, I'm just gonna block the 2/2. That's fine. Luckily, Colossal Dreadmaw kind of stops these things, and now we have Pounce. Let's see. So we're one away from... I might just Martyr of Dusk and then Pounce is dead. We get our Raptor Companion back. We'll replace it with a 1/1. I don't really want to take another... It's likely they don't have like a Skullduggery. We could be a little more patient and wait till we draw a land, and then we can pump something with this. But they're going to get in for another attack next turn. I think I'm just going to pounce this. I think we have, unless they have like removal for days. And now our board's pretty solid. We can attack with the Yatskin Archer. It wasn't the most efficient play value-wise. Oh, I gotta change my current record here. Oh. Okay. How many of these do they have? So this is kind of annoying, but hopefully our Colossal Dreadmaw. So this thing can hang back and still block these two. I see. Yeah, it sucks when you like had a bunch of cards and you get rid of them, and then, like you said, you don't want to go through that whole process. That's why I like limited. I'm not into building decks and searching through cards and storing them all nice. Magic Online is just so easy. It's much faster. It's basically the same experience. I actually don't mind not having the awkwardness of playing with certain characters at like local game shops. Okay, so I can Jadecraft Artisan here, pump the Vampire token and just swing with it. I think I'm going to do that. I want my 3/3 out on board. This 2/2 doesn't really do anything for us. They're down to one card. Colossal Dreadmaw is a strong one. Hey, thanks a lot. That's a really good tip. I haven't heard that that kind of advice yet. I didn't realize you couldn't read the cards. I think the resolution should be 1080p, but maybe it's just like a size thing. I guess I have to remember that not everyone... I've watched this, I'm kind of like so familiar with this set, I see the art, I'm like, oh, okay, I know that card. But yeah, I have to recognize that not everyone is quite like that. If they swing with this Vampire token, I think I'm gonna just... I think I would make the trade. I don't want to just bounce it off here. I would make the trade with Raptor Companion, obviously. I'm just gonna drop Colossal Dreadmaw and pass. I kind of want to hold them back. I don't really want to... I guess I could attack with this Raptor Companion now. That might have been the better play. Let's see here. Hopefully they don't have any removal. Uh-oh, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, if the text is hard to read, that's for sure an issue. I mean, I don't need to make this kind of, you know, like the Twitch chat so big and stuff. I can slim that down. I could also, well, this might help a little bit. Okay, so that's going to do a lot of damage to me. We need to find some removal. Get at least one of these guys out here. And that is not it. So if I attack here, the problem is they just double block. This is going to be painful. Luckily, we have the Colossal Dreadmaw to hold them back. They're going to drop this and it's going to deal 5 damage. Assuming they don't have another Vamp to play. And it's going to be a 5/5, but luckily this thing can hold them back. So I'm just going to kind of be patient. And hopefully I find some removal. I can take one of these Legion Lieutenants out. Then we start having some better attacks with the Colossal Dreadmaw. We can also get a Flyer. We can also get the 3-4 Dino that kind of cuts out the points of damage to other dinos. And then we can just start swinging with the Colossal. Oh, that's a good draw. I mean, it's just a big body. I'm definitely not attacking the Colossal Dreadmaw, though. Okay. Oh, shit. I'm like, oh, I'm glad we have this Archer to block it, but it's going to be a 4-4 with these Legion Lieutenants. We really need to find something to take care of. If he attacks with this, what do I do? This is interesting, because it's really just a 3-3, but the problem is I can't take the 6. And if I'm going to block, I might as well kill it. I think this thing's holding things back enough to where I can block with this and, like, maybe the Jadecraft Artisan. I'm not going to do the Jadecraft. Yeah, I don't want to risk. I don't want to risk the Yatsukin Archer. We might need it against this. So it sucks to trade a 5-5 for effectively a 3-3, but I can't take the damage. I don't really want to chump. I want to get that off the board. That's a problem. So this is how the Vampire deck gets really good. These Vampire Lords are rough, and then they just have access to a ton of good removal. So I'm going to take this one, just in case we find like Hunter Week or something. I can put it on here, and at least have it like be big enough to block this. Drawing land is not good. I wonder if and I still can't attack with this because they'll just double block here or let it through, and then they could swing back pretty bad. So we need to find some specific cards here. Drawing land after land is not ideal. Same reason for last time. I'm not going to block. Jove of the Mighty is not going to win it for us, but it's another blocker on the ground, and we won't die next turn. We will block here. But it's not looking good. Basically, our next draw needs to be something I can deal with this guy, March Bloodletter. Jesus. That is busted. How do they have 3 of those? Okay, so their deck is a little more powerful than I anticipated. This is match number 2, right? Is this the first, or I mean, is this the first game? I don't even remember. Doesn't matter. It's an uncommon card, so it's a, just in case you can't read it, it's a white and a black for a 2/2 Vampire Lord, so it gives all other vampires +1/+1. And it's pretty highly sought after, so it's, I don't know if they just had good packs or if no one was playing vampires in their draft pool, but to get 3 of them is it's very rare. Okay, so we have to block here. That's done. We can block here, and then we could double block this to get it off the board. I mean, we lose all these things. We'll still have our 6/6. They lose this and this. So they'll have their 3 lords and then their 5/5 flyer. We can, I mean, I think this is what we gotta do. I did it with the Drover Mighty because it's not necessarily a 3/3 all the time. So if they got something to get rid of the Colossal Dreadmaw. Okay, so that is interesting. Now, this might seem a little... Wait a second. Okay, so this might seem a little odd. And I think the obvious play here would be to put it on Colossal Dreadmaw because it's like, oh, we get the most life back. But the problem is, if we put this on here and then we attack, they double block. Well, they might not double block. Because if they don't double block, none of these dies, and these stay 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4. I have 3 blockers. If they swing with everything, I'll have 11. I'll take 5 in the air, so it brings me down to 6. Then I can basically double block one of these and then chump one with my lifelink. And then if they double block this, they lose one of these, so this becomes 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. And then this thing becomes a little more. It can at least trade, so they won't be attacking with that. We go up to 11, then they have a 4, 4, so the clock resets a little bit. We definitely have to, unfortunately, put this on something and attack, so I think maybe the Colossal Dreadmaw is the best. We could also just put on Jadecraft Artisan, and they might not want to trade for it. If they do, we go up to 8. They lose one of these. This thing's a 4, 4. We still have only 2 turns to draw something. 3 if we attack with our 1, 1 token at some point. But the Colossal Dreadmaw then holds them back. But if they attack with everything after losing one of these by blocking this, this thing can trade for 1. And then I would chump 1 with the token. And then this would go down to 2, 2. And then I could trade with this. Problem is it's just a bunch of trades. There's no like good way to... I think at the end of the day, it's doing the same thing, so I'm just going to get the most life I can out of the Dreadmaw. And maybe they'll be stubborn and not want to block. We have been holding this card, so maybe they think it's something. I mean, I can't foresee them not double blocking here. They have to get this off the board. Yeah. Oh! I totally forgot that the other one would lose a point of damage and it would both die. Okay, so... we still need to find an answer for this thing, but now we can at least attack with our 3-3, assuming they don't play anything. Which they are. Do I want to trade this here? I can offer the trade. Oh, okay. So both died because my Dreadmaw, they were both 4/4s. My Dreadmaw did 4 to one and 3 to the other. But when the first one died from the 4 damage, the other one got pushed back to a 3/3. And since it had damage on there already, it died too. I didn't even think about that. So that could have been a big mistake if I put on the Jadecraft Artisan. I mean, it should have been fairly obvious, but I just completely wasn't thinking about that line. I think I'm gonna hold this back for a minute. I mean, at the end of the day, we still have to find an answer for the Sky March Bloodletter. We have a few things that can stop it, kill it. I think I'm gonna double block here because I'd rather have 3/3. If I draw like a fight spell, I can have it kill, even though I think pounces are only like non-counter fight spell. Oh, this is gonna be dangerous. This is why I wanted a 3/3 though. I mean, this can at least trade for one of these. Let's see how many they get. So we can't let them... Having our big creatures down is going to be good against this deck. It doesn't seem like they have a ton of removal. They had what? Bishop of Binding. Oh, they got 3. We're dead. I'm just going to... There's nothing we can do. They're going to have 5 things on board. And then they could just swing with everything. I'll see what I draw, but... Maybe Hunt the Week, I could kill this. This goes down to 2, and then I have a blocker for these things. But even then, if they attack with everything, I'm dead. I don't know what the card would be that would save us here. I think that buys us a turn. So we can block, one chump. I mean, it's not ideal. But if they draw absolutely... Well, we know they have another Legion Conquistador in hand. So... Probably just going to swing at everything. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Not that. I mean, I don't think we have a way out of this, but... Even if we sack this, play it now for dead. Okay. Alright, so we need things to get rid of 2/2s. The problem is I don't think we have much to do that. So what's our game plan here? I mean, our fight cards are good. Bombard is good. We just weren't drawing our removal. I think having another big thing is going to be better than having like Hardy Veteran. That's not doing much for us. Other than that, these things are solid blockers. I type in it every time. I don't think there is, actually. I like this hand. It gets us to Colossal Dreadmaw fast. If they have removal for it, that's rough. Or we can turn to Thunderherd Migration into a Plains and then get a blocker out the next turn. We'll have 4 mana. Well, we got all of our lands out here. We have our 2 greens. Just gonna draw Plains. I don't think that's really a big decision. We're just likely to draw. So I can Archer that, which is good. Sorry, this is a work text. Give me a sec here. Sorry about that. I do research in a laboratory, and apparently one of the incubators went down, but luckily none of my stuff's in there, so it's not my problem. I think getting the Swordtooth out and playing 2 cards, it's good. If we draw land, we can get a Colossal Dreadmaw going. Same argument as before, though. If they do happen to play one of their lords, I can no longer like fight this thing. Interesting. I think I'm gonna... So if this is a 3/2, it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, unless they have removal for both of our creatures, we're gonna have blockers for it, even if it becomes a 3/2. And it looks like they won't be able to play the getting punished again, but at least we have I don't try to... The treasure chest I open, I don't know if that's the right thing. That's what I do, but I'm an expert on the economics of Magic Online, so... Let's see. Can I hit? I'm still one away from. I think I'm just gonna Martyr of Dusk, which could trade for this, and then that's gonna Archer this thing to death. I haven't really gotten anything good out of them, to be honest. So they're gonna be able to cast Vampire, so they have black for vampire creatures now. It's nice that I wonder if it's gonna be a Lord. Oh, look at that. I'm okay with taking this. I think next turn I'm gonna slap a Squire's Devotion on this or play a Colossal Dreadmaw. It's nice that, you know, we saw Impale for removal. This can't give them black for that, so they're still a bit away from casting. You know, the one removal we saw, I think. Oh no. Do they have 2 of these? That would really suck. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, well the good thing is that they don't have a lot of gas in their hand. Bad thing is we're not even going to get any life gain off of this. I wasn't expecting the double Vampire Zeal. I mean, obviously it was a possibility, but now we don't even have a good blocker for this Martyr of Dusk. I might just take one more attack with it. I can chump with the lifelink here. That was a bummer. Oh, but now everything. Oh my god, they just keep on plussing everything. Okay, luckily the Dreadmaw we can get going next turn with the Drover of Mighty. And that's going to still be a blocker unless they can pump things more. I think for 5 damage I am going to just chump with the lifelink. I don't want to go down to 8. I don't know what they're thinking on. So this makes me suspicious. I could triple block here. I don't think it's worth it. I'm just gonna chump with this. Okay, so do I want to get... I'm gonna get Colossal Dreadmaw out. I'm gonna leave up the Bombard. Okay, so I think we have to play this a little patiently. The cards I'm worried about, Divine Verdict, and then a Pump Spell. That gives us kind of +1/+1. See, the fact that they're attacking with both makes me super suspicious. They left up all their land. So I think I'm just going to block the Atsukin Archer here. I'll take the 5. We're going to go down to 6. But I want to leave up this Bombard. If they have... Alright, that's actually a good draw here. So I'm going to play that for sure. We have Bombard up now, which is good. And then we can immediately get this Colossal Dreadmaw back. Or is it better to sack this, get back the Wayward Swordtooth, play that this turn, which we can. Then we have 2 solid blockers back. And then, you know, this could block here, that could block there. If they have a Pump Spell or like a Divine Verdict, they can only kill 1. Then we can bombard the other, and then we still have a lot of stuff on board with a 5/5. I think I'm gonna leave up Bombard. Attack here. I don't think I'm gonna leave up the Bombard. Then I can block this, tap sack it, bring the thing back to my hand. Now, then this block this, and if they have something to kill this, that's fine. I don't know because of how the stack works if I can okay, so I'm gonna block with the Colossal here. If they have Divine Verdict, that's fine. If they have a pump spell, I'm gonna, yeah, that's okay. So I'm trying to, I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna bombard this thing. And then I'm gonna bring back the Dreadmaw and cast it next turn. I just want to get that off the board. It kind of takes off 4 power. I guess I should have attacked with the Archer. I have a lot of damage to make up. If they find removal for Colossal Dreadmaw, that's no good. Or if they could just make a ton of these things. We actually have an okay board to deal with these. We need that 3/4 Dino that reduces damage to dinosaurs. That would be great. Another Colossal Dreadmaw would be good. Just they have so much potential to put out 3 attacking things with this stupid Radiant. Okay, so that's a really good card actually. When you start getting in the air, it's a good blocker. I'm not going to risk my Colossal Dreadmaw here, even though it's kind of unfortunate that they're just going to pump out a ton of things with their Legion Conquistador. They got 2 in hand. This is going to be a tough one. They have a really good deck. This is what Vampires does well. So we're going to get into for 2. So that's going to be solid. And at least we got blockers here. The problem is they're going to find a they have basically 3 cards that gets them another Lord, and they could have Impale right here, or that Vampire that pings everything, and we're dead. I kind of forgot about that card. Maybe we should have sent in, but I mean, if we send it with Dribbler Mighty, they're just knowing that they have it in their hand, they're just going to take it. Knowing that they have it in their hand, they're just going to take it even regardless of what we send in. So that was a tough one. I don't think we played too bad there. I just think their deck was unequivocally better than ours. We didn't really have the tools to deal with a bunch of Lords and a bunch of things that pumped everything. And then they could go wide with Legion Conquistador. They got in early with that. I guess the big play there is we could have Atsukin Archer the Martyr of Dusk early on when we were trying to make that decision. This hand's a little awkward. We need creatures to play both of these spells. We have no creatures, and except for one that we can't play. I think we can mulligan this, even though it looks good on the surface. It's really not that great. So this we need green, but we have a lot of green sources. Hey, thanks for joining 7L. I appreciate the commentary. Yeah, check out the YouTube if you want to see some more clips and stuff. Have a good weekend. Well, this has the potential to go downhill really fast. That's great. Definitely need to find a forest here. Well, mountain lets us bombard something if we really need to. Ugh. have 10 green sources in our deck here. So this is becoming a little more appealing to bombard next turn if we don't find anything. But they're going to be ramping pretty fast. We need to get some stuff out on the board. Maybe they have another enchantment. I mean, it's possible they have a way to protect this. But I'm willing to take the risk to get a 2-for-1. We're a little behind, so we need something to push the tides in our favor. If we just kill this with Bombard, they're going to play something on this turn. So now's the time to try this. If we draw green, we're in decent shape to kind of get this out. Then we can pounce basically anything they're playing, more or less. Oh, that's not good. We're going to get up like Jungleborn Pioneer or something. This thing's going to become a 5-4. Damn. These decks we're playing against have... Oh, another Forerunner. So these are going to go off. They are left unattended. Okay, well, that was a decent draw. It's good with Vampire Zeal. Little do they know we are a green-white deck, despite what it looks like. Playing on 1 red card, having our 1 red mana out. We're going to catch them off guard like that. We can come out of the bushes. Man, I should really go to bed after this. I'm doing a open water scuba certification like training thing in a pool in a classroom for like 9 hours tomorrow. So that's gonna be rough. They attack here, I'm gonna trade obviously. They did not. That's fine. They're running out of gas, but they put this. Why are we playing against every freaking lord? Okay. So what do we want to do here? So I kind of want to leave up Pounce and Vampire Zeal, because then once they play this, this is going to become a 5-4, 6-4, actually, because it's going to get a double boost. Or I'm sorry, 6-5. So then if they swing with this and this, I can Vampire Zeal this and then Pounce. Does fight take into account first strike? I don't think it does. So my plan goes out the window. Well, no, this will only be a 2-2, so I could still fight it. And then I won't lose this because this will have first strike to that. So this is stipulating that they don't have 2 merfolks to play. Whatever their extra card is in hand isn't like a removal or another merfolk. Okay, that's fine. It's all part of the plan right now. Don't play another one. Okay. I think this is gonna be a good one. So they don't want us double blocking here. That's fine. So I need to make sure I do this right. Okay, while this is on the stack. No! I don't know how that works. Why couldn't I? Well, I punted. This is the face of defeat and sorrow. Okay, this one green's kind of slowing us down. What can we do here? They have a 5-4. We can't kill it with our lifelink. So we should probably get this Wayward Swordtooth out. But we can't double spell next turn if we don't draw a forest. But do we want to take a ton of damage here? I guess if they attack with everything, we can still Vampires deal this, take the 5, assuming they don't play another Merfolk. So I think I'm not gonna reveal the Dinosaur. I'm just gonna go get a forest. And then I'll pass. And next turn we can get out both of these things. Then we'll have Ascend. Not quite. Won't be close. I assume they're going to swing with everything, because why wouldn't they? I gotta take the 7. I'm going to block with my lifelink. It'd be pretty hard if I mess up this freaking instant. It's fine. We'll go down 13. They play something? Nope. Okay, cool. Gonna play this and leave up Divine Verdict. This thing can't block this turn. We don't want to take another 5 damage. I can't block this, but that's okay. Any permanent we draw is gonna be decent for us, I think. A little. Oh, we can start attacking ourselves. I don't really want this to fight anything, but for reasons described earlier, I'll do that. Hopefully they don't have a cancel, or hopefully they don't have Water Knot. This 5/5 is gonna carry us to glory. Hopefully they're just holding a bunch of lands. Doesn't look like they have any, how their deck is built. I don't expect them to have any big creatures that can tangle with this. Just maybe some greens that they don't have great removal in green. The only thing I'm really worried about is like a Water Knot right now. They're a little bit ahead on the race, but okay, so if we play this guy, we can put it on our lifelink here, then we can attack with 3 things. Maybe they have the flash 3/3 Merfolk is a possibility, but even then they got a double block. Okay, well I can only block flyers. So it doesn't really help their situation. This lifelink's gonna help a lot. We have this to block this. Okay, I think we're in good position now, despite that huge punt earlier. Hey, what a mess. Whoa, did that guy just like... Yeah, well that's weird. We won game 1 and then the guy just completely scooped the whole match. Which is weird because I think that my opponent was ahead most of the time, but okay, I'll take it. I guess I'll take the win. But anyway, other than that huge punt this last game, I think the second deck was just better than ours, like straight up. It was really well constructed. It could have probably used 1 or 2 more pieces of removal, but other than that, its tribal synergy was just off the wall. We couldn't keep up with it. And then the first game was pretty solid. So, not bad. It was pretty, I would say slightly above average white-green deck. Maybe average, maybe just average. But I think we assembled the right parts by the end of pack 3. And, it went like 1.5 to 1. So, I guess I'll take it. Anyway, follow me on Twitch at Dinosnore. Like the YouTube channel, like the video, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to keep out rolling out more content as I do more drafts. And thank you for watching. See you.